You guys able to see my screen? Thank you. In Java, we need to learn first data types, and variables. Before going to discuss these topics, so generally, if you are saving on file into any location of your computer, where it will be saved, how it will be saved. హలో అనిల్ గారు, శ్వేత గారు, అందరూ అన్మ్యూట్ లోకి వచ్చేసేయండి కొద్దిసేపు. జస్ట్ నార్మల్ డిస్కషన్. ఒకటి జావా నేర్చుకునేటప్పుడు ఏదైనా కానీ మీరు రియల్ టైం ఎగ్జాంపుల్లో రండి. మీరు రియల్ టైం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ తీసుకొని ఆ రియల్ టైం ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ని ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ లాంగ్వేజ్ లో కన్వర్ట్ చేస్తారు. మీరు ఫస్ట్ ఒక కాన్సెప్ట్ నేర్చుకుంటున్నారు అంటే, సో శ్వేత గారు మ్యూట్ లోనే ఉండండి. వాయిస్ వస్తుంది, నాయిస్ వస్తుంది. సో మీరు క్వశ్చన్స్ అడుగుతాను, ఆన్సర్స్ పింగ్ చేయండి చాట్ విండోలో. సో అందరు తెలుగే కండి, ఫస్ట్ తెలుగులో డిస్కస్ చేద్దాం. హలో, ఓకే. సో నార్మల్లీ why we need to learn data types. So before going to discuss on data types, what is the importance of data types we need to learn. So before discussing the data types topic, generally if you want to save any of your file in your computer, what you will do? నార్మల్గా అయితే మన కంప్యూటర్లో ఏదైనా ఒక ఫైల్ని సేవ్ చేయాలి. ఒక ఫైల్ని, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు నా దగ్గర ఇప్పుడు ఈ సెలీనియం పేజ్ 2 అనేది ఉంది. సో ఇప్పుడు నేను నా డి డ్రైవ్ లోనో సి డ్రైవ్ లోనో ఎక్కడో ఒక్కడ సేవ్ చేస్తున్నాను. ఎనీవేర్ ఇన్ మై కంప్యూటర్ ఐఎమ్ సేవింగ్ దిస్ ఫైల్. సో where it is storing, now I am saving, I have saved one file in my computer in D drive. So that means in backend it is saving into the memory. It is saved into the memory. My computer memory is partitioned into 2 drives, C drive and D drive. So like that in Java also all the data related to all the information related to data, all the information related in Java, that is saved in the JVM, Java Virtual Machine Memory. సో మన సిస్టమ్, మన కంప్యూటర్స్ లో ఎలా అయితే మెయిన్ మెమరీ, ప్రైమరీ మెమరీ, సెకండరీ మెమరీ ఇవి ఉంటాయో, సో అలాగే జావాలో కూడా మనం రాసే ప్రతి కోడ్ ఇంటర్నల్ గా JVM లో సేవ్ అయిపోద్దండి. ఇంటర్నల్ గా JVM ద్వారా కంపైల్ అయిపోతుంది. సో ఇక్కడ డేటా టైప్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ వల్ల యూజ్ ఏంది అంటే, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనకు మన రిక్వైర్మెంట్ లో సమ్ టైమ్స్ we will work on numbers, sometimes we will work on names. ఒక్కొక్కసారి నీ ఇన్పుట్ నెంబర్స్ కావచ్చు, ఒక్కొక్కసారి నీ నేమ్ నే ఇవ్వచ్చు. సో ఒక్కొక్కసారి ఓన్లీ లెటర్స్ నే ఇవ్వచ్చు, క్యారెక్టర్స్ ని. సో డేటా టైప్స్ అంటే ఏంటి అంటే, డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ ది టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటా, డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ ది టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటా, డిపెండింగ్ ఆన్ ది టైప్ ఆఫ్ డేటా, JVM partition the memory internally. JVM save the data. The data is which type of data, what type of data you want to save. So that we will discuss in the data types. For example, if you take numbers, in numbers what are the different numbers we have? Integer numbers, floating point numbers. So like this we have different types of numbers is there. Like this we have different types of numbers is there. Data types is nothing but the type of data stored in your system, the type of data you want to store. Data type is nothing but type of data, either numerical data or character type of data. Numerical is nothing but numbers, or so numerical is nothing but numbers. So depending on the type of data, whatever data you are giving, the data will be stored on the type of data. For example, if you are passing integer numbers data, it will save into the integer memory location. It will save the data into the integer memory location. If you are giving floating numbers data, floating number data is nothing but floating point data is nothing but what? Hello Shweta, integer numbers and floating numbers, what is the difference between those two? What is the difference between integer numbers and floating numbers? Integer number is nothing but integer numbers is nothing but 1, 2, 3, 100, 400, like this, without decimal points. Without decimal points, whatever round of value you are giving, that is integer number. Floating number means the number will contains with decimal points like 1.1, 2.5, 6.5, like this. So we have different types depending on the type of data. Depending on the type of data, whatever data you are giving. For example, if you are giving, if you want to save, if you want to save integer number, you need to specify the data type as int. You need to specify the data type as int. You need to specify the data type as int. Shweta and Ravi, you have any doubts till this? Just what I am trying to say here, why the data types are required, why the data types are required, because if without data type, if you are giving any, without data type, if you are giving any input, if you are giving any input, that is మీకు డేటా టైప్ కాకుండా మీరు ఏ ఏ డేటా టైప్ అయినా ఇచ్చారనుకోండి, మెమరీలో అది డైరెక్ట్ పోయి మెమరీలో సేవ్ అవుతుంది. మళ్ళీ మీరు రిట్రీవ్ చేసుకోవాలనుకున్నప్పుడు నార్మల్గా రియల్ టైంలోనైనా అంతే, మనకి ఏ ఏ మెమరీ లొకేషన్లో అయితే సేవ్ చేసుకుంటామో మన సిస్టంలో, ఏ ఫైల్ అయితే సేవ్ చేసుకుంటామో, జస్ట్ ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు నాకు ఈ అప్డేటెడ్ ప్యాకేజ్ అని ఉంది. ఈ అప్డేటెడ్ ప్యాకేజ్ లోపల లాగ్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి. సో ఇవి ఏం చేస్తున్నాం, ఈ ఫైల్స్ అనేవి ఇక్కడ సేవ్ చేసుకున్నాం. ఎందుకు, మనకు అర్థం కావడం కోసం ఒక ఫైల్ కి, ఆ ఫైల్ కి నేమ్ పెట్టుకుంటున్నాం, ఒక ఫైల్ కి నేమ్ అనేది మెన్షన్ చేసుకున్నాం. అదే విధంగా జేవిఎం మెమరీ లొకేషన్ లో కూడా, అదే విధంగా జావాలో ఇంటర్నల్ గా ఉన్న జేవిఎం మెమరీ లొకేషన్ లో కూడా నువ్వు ఇచ్చే డేటా అనేది మన ఎయిదర్ we will pass data, numerical data. Numerical data is nothing but numbers. Numerical data or character data or characters. So but in the numerical numbers also we have different types of numbers: integer numbers, floating numbers. ఇవి సేవ్ అయ్యేటప్పుడు బ్యాక్ అండ్ మెమరీలో, ఇప్పుడు మనం ఏదైతే ఒక ఫైల్ ని సేవ్ చేయాలనుకుంటున్నామో ఆ ఫైల్ ని డి డ్రైవ్ లో పెట్టుకొని ఆ ఫైల్ నేమ్ ఏదైతే ఇచ్చుకుంటున్నామో మన మెమరీ మన రిఫరెన్స్ కోసం, అది మన రిఫరెన్స్ కోసం మనం ఎలా అయితే సేవ్ చేసుకుంటున్నామో, అదే విధంగా బ్యాక్ అండ్ జేవిఎం మెమరీ లొకేషన్స్ లో కూడా నువ్వు ఇచ్చే నెంబరు, దట్ ఈస్ type, depending on the type of number, it will be saved into that memory location directly. But you need to specify what type of number you want to use. But before declaring any value, you need to specify what type of data you want to use, so like that we have. So for that we need data types concept. Data type is nothing but it specifies the type of data you want to store in your system. Type of data you want to store in your system. So we have total actually in Java data types are divided into two types. Primary data types and secondary data type. That is nothing. So they are divided into two types: primary data type and secondary data type. In primary data type we have numerical data type, character type data, and last one is character type data and Boolean type data. So numerical data types means Either you have integer numbers, floating numbers. And character means character అంటే ఏంటంటే ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇప్పుడు నవీన్ అని రాశాను, ఇది క్యారెక్టర్సా వర్డా? ఇది ఇట్ ఈస్ వర్డ్ ఆర్ క్యారెక్టర్? హలో, ప్లీజ్ రెస్పాండ్.
Hello sir, I'm Sritam Somatri Jana, I am the joined.
Hello.
Hello sir, I'm Sritam Somatri Jana from Bhubaneswar, Odisha. I have joined.
Okay. I think just now you joined.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So what I am just now in Java, I have started basic concept, that is data type. That is data type. Data type is nothing but what type of data you want to store in your memory. What type of data you want to store in our memory, that is we are discussing. So generally we have data types, either numerical data types or character data type or Boolean data type. Numerical is nothing but either we have integer numbers or floating numbers. Just that one only we discussed till now. So okay, Saumitri.
Yes sir.
So in why the data type is required? Whatever the type of data you want to use, you need to tell to JVM memory. You need to inform to JVM memory. Actually in Java, how it is compiled, all type of data, whatever data you are giving, it will be compiled by using JVM, Java Virtual Machine.
Java Virtual Machine.
Yeah. So you need to inform what type of data you are using. Depending on the type of data, JVM will allocate memory to you. JVM will allocate memory to you. Like in our computers, how the memory is there, how the memory is partitioned. In backend JVM also memory is divided. In backend memory also divided. They divided memory depending on the type of data. Either that is numerical type or character type or Boolean type. If your data is numerical type, normally numerical is nothing but what we will say, either integer numbers or floating numbers. Now second one is character. So character is nothing but what? Now I have written Naveen. It is character or what? Shweta and Ravi, Saumitri, please respond.
Okay sir. Yes.
Yeah, here I have written Naveen. That is what are character. Either it is what are character.
Character.
Group of characters is nothing but either it is word or character.
Word or character.
Yeah. Group of, yeah. Samudra, can you unmute? So group of characters is nothing but word. Group of characters is nothing but a word. So the character is nothing but just single letter. Character is nothing but just single letter. And next, so N is one character, A is one character, V is one character, E is one character, and this E is one character, N is one character. Group of all characters is nothing but one word. So, and next data type is Boolean. Boolean is nothing but either true or false. 0 means true and 1 means false. I hope you guys know this thing. Computer will
Yes,
understand only binary
yes,
numbers, 0 and
0
1.
false
Yeah,
and 1 is 0 is true.
sorry, 0 true, 1 is false.
0 is true and 1 is false.
So, like this, we have different types of data. That is depends on our requirement. We will use our data. That is depends on the type, depends on our requirement. If you want to work on numbers, if you want to, I hope till this you guys clear, you three.
Yes, sir.
Shweta and Ravi, what about you guys?
Yes, sir.
So, for example, now my requirement is I want to work on integer numbers. If I want to work on integer number, my requirement is if I want to work on integer numbers. If you want to work on integer numbers, you need to inform I am using integer number. For example, how you will specify you are using integer number depend by using int. By using int is nothing but you are using integer number. For example, if you want to use one number, you want to use one is nothing but that is integer number. If you want to if you if your data is integer data, then that time you need to inform the data type is int. The data type is int. So here in Java or any programming language, not only in Java, any programming language, in any programming language, before using the data, you need to specify type of data, what type of data you are using. For example, if I want to use one number, so before using this number, I will tell that number is integer number. That number is integer number. So that integer numbers will specify with into data type. And floating numbers. And floating numbers. Floating numbers means floating is nothing but the number which contain with decimal points. Decimal points 1.2, 2.1.2, 1.3, like this. The number contains with decimal points, that is floating number. If your requirement is floating number, then you need to inform I am using floating type of data. I am using floating type of data. And if you want to use character type of data, then for example, if I want to use a character, before that you need to specify char. If you want to work on character data type, you need to specify the data type as char. R. And other type what we discussed, Boolean. Boolean is nothing but if you If you want to inform, Boolean is nothing but either true or false. If your
Yeah,
data is true,
0 is true and 1 is false.
yeah. If you are using true means you need to specify that true is what type of data, Boolean. So that is, if you want to work on either true or false, just you need to say it is true or false. That time you will use data type as Boolean. And depending on the primary data type, and we have secondary data. These are primary data types. Depending on these data types, we have another data types. These are primary data types: int, float, character, and Boolean. These are primary data types. And also we have secondary data types. I will explain later those data types. Before that, I will explain variables. Variable is nothing but, for example, you are saving one file in your memory. You will give one reference name. So like this, just for example, I have saved my data in this file. So what name I have given for this? Java syllabus. I have given reference name is Java syllabus. File name is Java syllabus. Like this, variable is nothing but you are giving the name. For your reference. You are giving one name to your data. For example, one is number. So you are saying I am saving this number. Into a variable. That means one number you are saved into a variable. That a is the reference memory location for your integer number 1. Variable is nothing but you are saving temporary data. You are saving your data into one variables. But in Java, what I said, before using any variables or any numbers, before using anything, you need to specify the data type. For example, if I want to work on integer numbers, I will take the reference as int a. If I want to save any value into this variable, if I want to assign any value into this variable, how I will assign? Equal to value. Here int is data type.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Sir, I have a question. Sir, how put the software in a core Java and laptop? Yeah,
Yeah,
hello.
you need to install Java. I will
Okay,
show
sir.
later how we will install Java and all.
Okay, sir.
So before that, please understand this variables concept. I
Okay,
hope you are clear in data types. You have any doubts in the data type?
no, sir. A Boolean, either a Boolean character and
The data is
variable.
nothing that is depends on ours only. That is
Yes, sir.
depends on our requirement. That is depends on our
Our
requirement.
requirement.
We will pass our data. But in Java,
Okay,
before giving your data, you need to specify which type of data you want to use.
okay,
Either you want to use numerical number data or integer numerical number or boolean or character. You need to
yes, sir.
variable is nothing but
But
variable is nothing
which
but
one I?
so if you
Okay,
just you are giving reference to your memory like file name.
okay,
Inside the file you are saving some information, but while saving
okay,
that information you will give some reference name like that.
okay,
For example, if I want to give if I want to store one number, I am saving that number into one reference variable as a, one reference variable as a. But what I said to you previously, before working on any integer numbers, you need to specify that type of data into a. So that's where how I written int a equal to 1, int a equal to 1. That means I am
one
using integer number. I am saving that integer number into a variable. I am saving that integer number into a variable. So
a
in
variable.
backend, how it will be stored, it will go to the memory location. It will go to the memory location. In backend, it will go to the memory. It will go directly. It will go to the integer memory because you are specifying your data type is int. In backend it will go directly. It will go to the integer memory location. It will go to the like in our C drive or D drive. So like that, JVM, that memory is divided. So if you are specifying integer number means directly it will go to the integer memory location. And if is there any space, if the space is available, if the space is available, it will save that file. It will save that a variable. It will save that a variable, and it will save whatever the internal data is there. It will save inside memory location. Backend it will save like this. First it will go whatever type of data you are giving. It will go to that memory location. It will point to that memory location, and it will save that number. Whatever value you are giving, it will save that number. Whatever the reference you are giving, with that reference memory, with that reference variable, it will save. Okay, you got it my point.
Yes, sir.
So that is the variables importance. Without defining the type of data type, without defining the data type, you are not you are not able to use you are not able to use anything. It will give compile. It will give errors. It will show errors. So how it is showing, I will show now. See,
Okay, sir.
that is our wish. Some people will use Eclipse. Someone will IntelliJ. That is depends on our. you save Java in your if you install Java in your memory, sorry, if you install Java in your memory, directly it will show. I will explain later. For that, I will explain these data types also. See, in Java, everything you will return into the class. Everything you will return inside the class. I will explain later how we will write inside the class and all things. So whatever I did till now, I will explain later in our regular classes. See, now what we discussed, we discussed till now we have discussed two topics: data types and variables. For example, I want to use integer number. I will give I will give a. If I didn't specify any type of data, it is showing error. Are you observed that error? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So I didn't mention type of data. Just I have used one way character. I have taken one character, either
Okay.
A or one, either numerical number or character I have taken. But I didn't mention any type of data. I didn't mention what type of data you are going to use. If you are not mentioned, it is showing error. Are you observe error line? Are you able to identify that one? Can I maximize my screen? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see this error line, red line?
Yes, sir. Numerical either, yeah, character.
I have given numerical number or character. So directly if I given directly that number, it is throwing error, red symbol. Are you able to see this red?
Yes, sir.
Red means error. So what Java is saying, any programming language, before going to use any type of number, any type of data, either if you want using if you are using integer number, you need to specify I am trying to use integer number. I am trying to use integer number. See, now I have given variable as a, and data type is int, and data type is int. So if you save one value now, it won't show any error. Why? Because already you have defined a variable data type. Already you have defined a variable data type. This is the main fundamental in any programming language, not only in Java. If you are working on any programming language, whatever data you are giving, you need to specify the data type. For the data, you need to specify the data type. Okay. So in Java, you need to learn what is meant by data types and variables, and how we will use these variables. That one, and after that, you need to learn conditional statements. Conditional statement means, for example, if you want to purchase any item. Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. For example, if you want to purchase steel item, if you want to purchase steel items, what you will do? You will go to one steel shop and you will buy that item. If that is steel shop, you will go. If it is that normal fancy shop, you will go and you can able to buy that steel items. Hello. What my question
Yes,
is,
sir.
if you want to buy steel items, steel,
Okay.
so what you will go normally, you will go to one steel shop and you will purchase your item.
Okay.
So if, for example, we have different shops will be available, steel shops and vegetable shops, like this, so many shops are available. But
Okay.
particularly whatever item you want to purchase, what that item, in which shop it is available, directly you will go to that shop and you will purchase your item. So
Yes, sir.
like that, how you have decided, depending on the item, you are decided which shop you will go. So like that, in Java we have some conditional statements is there. Those are, if it, for just for example I am saying, if it is steel shop, steel items should be available. If it is vegetable shop, vegetable items should be available. Like this, we will return some conditional statements in programming. Those are
Okay,
conditional
sir.
statements.
Conditional. If still sub, you have vegetable sub.
Yeah, if it is if it is if it is steel shop, then steel items only available. If it is vegetable shop, vegetable items only available.
Only
Like this,
available. That
yeah, like this we will say conditions.
conditional statement. That means one purchase, one item, one purchase.
Yeah, so you are going to purchase steel items means, when you will go, if it is steel shop only, you will go to you
Still
will
item.
go to purchase steel items. Otherwise, you won't go to steel shop, no?
Vegetable.
So
Otherwise,
like,
the vegetable sub
yeah,
and vegetable item.
yeah, like this, we will specify the conditions.
Conditional.
So
Yes.
yeah, like this, we will discuss conditionals. Yeah, I am showing the syllabus, how I will what I will cover. I will give, I will inform, I will show you how to install Java and how to install the configuration IDs, IDE or Eclipse or IntelliJ, and what are the different data types and variables, what is meant by conditional statements and loop statements and classes and objects, and main heart is encapsulation, OOPS concepts. After that, we will discuss OOPS concepts. If we are getting any errors, how we will handle those errors in the exception handling, we will discuss those things. So these topics I will cover in our core Java. So did you get small idea on Java now? Just what I am, not only Java, any programming language, if you want to write any conditions or anything, before that you need to know what type of data. You need to learn what are the different types of data types are available, and how we will declare the variables. If we are declaring any variable, either A, B, or C, if you are declaring any variable, you need to tell what is the type of data, that variable type of data, what is that. See here, I have written int A. That means A is variable. That variable data type is int. A equal to 1. If I am trying to give A equal to 1.1, it will take or not? Hello.
Yes, sir.
If I am trying to give A variable value is 1.1, is
Okay.
it will take that value? Is it will take this 1.1 value into A variable? Are you able to save 1.1 value into A variable?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
No, because what is your A variable data type? What is this?
Only numerical character.
Yeah, in numerical, what is the variable? In numerical also we have two types: integer numbers and floating numbers. Floating numbers is nothing but if your number, if your number with if your number with decimal points, it contains decimal points. Decimal point means after that whatever numbers is there, those are decimal numbers.
Decimal numbers.
Yeah, so if your number is decimal number, if you want to, if your data is, if your data contains decimal numbers, that time you need to use float.
Float.
float Float. See, if I am trying to give 1.1 number into a variable, it is throwing error. It is showing in the red line. Why? Because that number contains decimal points. If your number contains decimal points, that time you need to use floating type of
Float.
data. Float.
Floating
So
type data.
so that means I can able to save 1.1 number into b variable only.
Okay, that is floating data.
Yeah, because that is floating type. Like that,
Floating type data.
like that. Before giving any data, you need to decide what type of data type I want to use. For example, now I want to work on integer numbers. Then I have declared a variable data type as int. Int. If I want to work on decimal points, I have taken another variable, b variable, and I inform to that JVM, my b variable data type is floating number. It will allow. That means if you are specifying in the type of data, if you are specifying the data type, means it will save only that type of data only. you are trying to save, for example, if you are trying to save 2 number into b variable, if you are trying to save value 2 into the b variable, is it allow or not?
Yes, allowed.
If you are trying to write 1.1 into a variable, is it allow?
Float available, then it is allowed.
Float. But what is your data type for a? A value, a variable data type is int.
Integers.
Int. That means it won't allow. That means it won't allow. It won't allow floating numbers. A variable will allow only integer numbers. A
Integer
variable
numbers.
will allow only integer numbers. B variable will allow only floating numbers. If you
Floating
want to
numbers.
define, if you want to define character, that means you need to use char data type. See, if I am trying to use c equal to 1, sorry, if I am trying to use character c equal to 1, so how we will define the character data type as?
Only integer numbers.
No, character means what?
Oh, okay, okay.
Character means either a letters, English letters, alphabetical letters,
Yes,
A, B,
alphabetical.
C. Yeah.
Okay.
If I am trying to use characters, that time I will use char data type. Now I have saved my character A into C variable. I have saved my character A into C
C
variable.
variable.
I have saved one number into A variable.
A
I have saved
variables.
one. So, for example, into A equal to 1. That means what? I saved one number into A variable. I have saved one number into A variable.
A
Left
variable.
side is before equal to, that is variable, that, and right side is value, and right side is value,
Value.
variable value. Okay, I hope till this you understand. If you have any doubts, please ask.
Sir, character means um, uh, A variables only integers. B is floating number.
Yeah, character means you will say character D equal to A. That means A character, A A letter is stored into the D variable.
The
Before
variables.
equal to, that is variable. Before equal to, that is variable. That means your value is saving into one reference number, one reference value. That is D.
Okay.
For example, one means one is your number. You are saving that number into a variable. You are saving that number into a variable.
Variables.
Variable is nothing but, why variables we will use? To save the data. To save the data we are using. You have one number. You are saving the data into variable. That variable name is a. You understand the difference between?
Yes, sir.
You understand the difference?
Yes, sir.
Whatever value is there, you are saving that value into one variable. Variable is nothing but saving the value, saving the data.
Okay.
You have one number, you are saving that number into a variable. Like you have one file. you have one file, either you are saving your file into either into C drive or D drive. You are specifying that file name. For example, now I have this information in my test file. So what I will do, control S, and what I will give name. So Java basics. Like this, I will give one name. That name is nothing but variable. Okay, that name is nothing but variable. Whatever the information inside the test, whatever the information inside this file, that is the value. I hope now you clear.
Yes, sir.
Just like this, just taken this example only. If you press Control S, it will ask file name. Will ask file name. That name, that means you are saving your information into this file name. You are saving your information into this file name. That file name is Java Basics. Like
Java
that, if I
basic.
open if I open Java Basics test file, it will show the information. It will show the information. Whatever the information contained inside the test file, it will show all the test. See, if I will close this one, if I open this Java Basics test file, it will show whatever the information is there. It will show. In programming language, how we will save that is, file name means you are giving in, that means file name means that is nothing but your variable. File name is nothing but your variable, and whatever the value inside that you want to store, that you will give right side. Equal to right side you will give the value, left side you will give the name of that variable. You understand now?
Yes, sir.
For example, just consider int Java basics equal to 1. In Java basics, you have information 1. You are saving one value into Java basics. But what you need to what you need to inform before writing this two lines, before writing this line, you need to inform to your compiler, I'm I'm trying to save only integer numbers in these variables. I am trying to save only integer numbers into this variable. In Java basics, I can able to save only integer numbers. I can't able to save floating numbers. Floating numbers is nothing but decimal numbers, because you are specifying your data type is int. You are specifying your data type is int. You understand what I am trying to say?
Yes, sir.
If you are clear if you are clear this line, you will understand next class. Whatever I am trying to teach next classes, you will understand those stuffs. But please
Okay.
carefully understand, whatever you are
Okay, sir.
writing, whatever you are taking variable or whatever writing any data, before that you need to give data type. Before that you need to mention data type. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Tomorrow we will discuss.
Sir, okay, sir. Sir, how
Yeah.
install the Java?
Yeah, how the installation and all things we will discuss tomorrow. So as of now, you understand the class or not?
Yes, sir. I understand.
If you understand this class, tomorrow we will apply these concepts in Java. How with,
Okay, sir. Tomorrow evening time. That means
yeah,
6 p.m.
yeah, yeah. They will inform training time. How you will install
Okay.
your Java? Yeah, if you want to learn Java, what you will do, you will go to your Chrome browser,
Okay.
Java. Yeah. So what you will do, you will try to download Java 8. Java 8. It will open this file. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Just to search in Google, type Java 8 downloads.
Okay. Yes, sir.
It will go. It will give Java archive downloads. You are using Windows machine or Linux machine? What is your OS? Windows only, na?
Yes, sir.
And trying to see what is your Windows version, 86, 86 operating machine or 64-bit operating system?
So that is under 86.
I think 64 only. How you will check that is,
Okay, okay. Yes, sir. Windows 64, 64.
okay. If you know that thing, you will directly come to this JDK, Java SE development kit, and come to here Windows 64 option and download this
Okay,
file. Okay.
okay, sir.
After downloads, it will download this file. After downloading, you need to, normally how you will install your things, just like that only you need to install. Click on next, it will install. Tomorrow I will
Okay, sir.
explain. Tomorrow I will how we
Okay, sir.
will
Okay,
install. In your mission only we
okay,
will install directly,
okay,
because
sir.
already in
Thank
my mission it is available. We will install in your mission.
you. Okay, sir.
Okay, thank you. But
Okay, sir. Welcome.
whatever I am trying to say, today topic is just to I explain data types. How we will write one line in Java. That's it. Just normal concept. I didn't explain more thing in detail. Just if you are trying to write anything in the Java in or any programming language, you need to specify type of data. Either
Yes, sir.
numerical data. If it is numerical data, that means either integer number or floating number. If it is
Floating numbers.
character, you need to specify character data type PHR, PHAR, char. Okay, tomorrow
Okay,
we
sir.
will discuss.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Till then.